So tonight I'm trying to get away from using a bunch of soft line because it's really easy to use since it's soft and it's malleable and you have a big long one, but they can flex a little bit even though they're still braided, and it's always best to use hardline when you can. This is the hardline I'll be using, and I'm going to fit it all to the radius arms and down the frame and all that kind of stuff wherever it needs to be on the truck. So the main reason for this video is to show you how to turn a regular old washer into a fancy brake line mount. That brake line mount will look like this. It's TIG welded on here. Not that TIG welding is a big deal, but it's on there. It's cool. What happens is you take your brake line, you take a piece of rubber hose. I've got some fuel rail hose right here, or fuel hose. Stick it in here. It fits right there on the mount. And I don't know if you can see it well, but then you put a zip tie around it, and zip ties are awesome because my truck always carries a bunch of them. And it's a cool mount for down your radius arms or anywhere on your frame or whatever, and relatively easy to do since washers are easy to come by. And these other fancy mounts don't really fit well. Got these other mounts right here. They don't really fit well on a radius arm anywhere. That lets you mount it properly or where anywhere I'd really like it. So washer trick's better. Here's how you do it. You're gonna get your washer and we're gonna bend it into shape so we can start marking where it needs to go. You want to go slightly off center with this just because the bend's gonna take up some space. I'm kind of guessing. I've done it a few times already, so it's probably where it needs to be. Put it in the vise, and that should just be about right. Take a hammer, just hammer it down. It's pretty simple, and it's really effective. That actually worked perfect. You'll see you get a nice even bend on this. So that's what you're looking for, just a nice 90. You got your little mount here. I cut a hole or a slice through it on this brake line, or I mean this fuel line, and it will fit right in there, and then it'll kind of squish the brake line. If you can see that, it'll squish and make the brake line tight so it doesn't want to go anywhere. And I cut them all to the same thickness and length as the not thickness, but the length as the washer, so it'll fit in there nice and tight with the zip tie around it. Should work out great. So now I've marked the distances of where they need to go. I'm just going to try to make this somewhat even so they kind of align. The washer needs to lie, so if you can kind of see in here, this is my best. There's the cross, washer right in the center. Now I can just clean up the outsides where I just put a little tiny weld on it, and it should work out great. And it doesn't need to be too much, just enough where the washer and where you're going to weld is clear. Clean it off. So now I'm just going to center it up. started bending everything. I've got my little rubber grommets where they need to go. Kind of help everything be where it needs to be. I'm going to run the brake line through one of the dimple dies already in the radius arm. I've got my bender here. Now it's just to try and get everything straight. So I've marked the top of the brake line where I need it. I need it bent down, so that needs to fall around. Just kind of some visuals you gotta make notes on, and so you don't screw this up. Right into there, right on the back side of this radius arm, and goes along it perfectly. So on this flat plate on the radius arm, since it's not a circle like a tube, these mounts are a little bit easier, and they'll just bolt right in. Because of the way the radius arm is made, I'm just going to use the self-tapper. Already marked where the hole needs to go. Just need to grab my drill. The frame, so it's not gonna bend or anything. So last thing to do on this brake line, I just need to figure out exactly how long it needs to go and get it cut and bent and put into shape properly. So that's step number 4 or 8 or 12. So now I've got the last bit of the length I need. I'm just gonna cut this down and start flaring it out. There are definitely better ways to cut that, but that works for what I need. So, anyways, double flaring tool now. So with the double flaring tool, this is going to be first action. You want to put it on the correct size. This is 3/16. You want to measure out with the flaring tool exactly how it is. I found it's to go a little bit larger. I don't know if it's because I just didn't cut it straight or what it was, but it seemed to work better when I went just a tad bit over. Even though they probably know what they're doing better than I do. Then take your flaring tool, put your first part of the flare into position, lock and load. You want to get this one all the way tight, as tight as it'll go, without bending your brake line as much as possible. So tight as it wanted to go. Now you're going to want to take your flaring tool, put it back on without the double flare adapter part, and at this part again you're just going to want to go half. So now it's tight, so I want to go half to like 3/4 turn. You're trying not to break anything, crack, screw anything up. Loosen it all up. Comes out. And you've got a nice, pretty double flared. That works. Perfect. I'm going to try to clean it up as much as you can so there's no extra metal on there. And tighten her on there. Good to go. New brake lines, custom fitted for the radius arms on the Ford Ranger, aka the turtle truck. So my night was going pretty good. I kind of made the brake line nice and easy, and then I just realized, like, a week ago I put the differential into the front end without putting the first part of the axle in, which needs to go in because it has a C-clip that holds it in there. And so now I got to take the front diff out. It's just, whoops.